Alright, let's go. Thank you, Christina.
We just saw Twilight. Sevchek, are you ready or what?
Yeah.
We just saw Twilight Breaking Dawn.
Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn
Part 1. I just ate a rye chip, so I'm going to put some gum in my mouth.
Please do.
So
Better.
did Max.
But
That's why I need to put gum in my mouth.
Just breathe into your own nose.
Alright.
You guys just saw it?
Yeah.
I was there Thursday night.
How was it, man? What was it like? Tell us about your experience.
I didn't really go to that shit at Thursday night.
Alright. Tell us about your experience anyways.
Well, we did go Saturday night, and the theater was packed. And it was full of Twilight fans. But we were on the south side of Chicago because we were going to this karaoke party.
Of course.
And it was a lot of fun. Everybody was like, I don't want to get into it too much, but it's like everybody was laughing at the movie. Like the stuff that wasn't supposed to be funny, even like nobody really took it seriously in my theater.
Yeah. That didn't really happen for me.
My theater was a bunch of older women, and it was kind of weird sitting next to a woman who like wants to fuck vampires. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry for the F word, but you know what I mean? Like what type of? It's like little boys on the screen with their shirts off, and these women are like they brought all their friends. They're obviously not embarrassed about it. Like, oh wow, and they're all cheering when the first 2 seconds, what's his name, takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
Just.
Well, I think that's so stupid because they're like, well, he's a werewolf, so he keeps his shirt off because he wouldn't want to ruin his clothes. But they always seem to find some fucking jean shorts. Like, what do they have, like jean shorts caches set up in the forest?
They have little wolf satchels that they leave scattered about the forest, so whenever they turn.
Yeah, that's like that one time when we were in the woods and we found a mattress and a bunch of jeans on it. Children's jeans.
It's from a werewolf.
It's from werewolves, not from a pervert. So.
Damn, that I know.
Yeah, that's weird because I laughed at one part when there's a part where Jacob imprints.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys read the books? Because a lot of this was unclear to me.
No.
Okay.
I have the books, but I figured what happened. I mean, like, I wasn't confused by any of it.
Well, I just thought it was weird that Jacob saw the baby. We're kind of jumping ahead, but he sees what's her name's baby.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with it.
Yeah. What? Yeah. It looks like he sees the baby's future or something and falls in love with future baby.
I don't know. But he sees the baby.
I can tell you what happened there. Just hold on a second. I'll break it down.
I know what happens, but I think it's weird that he gets a wolf boner on over a baby, and then I kind of snickered and laughed, and Susie's like, not now.
This shows how much you don't respect and understand what it is when a werewolf imprints on someone.
I guess it's okay. What if a werewolf was to use the internet to imprint? He'd be arrested. I'm just looking for my true love, babies.com. It's weird, man. It's weird.
It's weird, but here's the deal. Like, he didn't do it because he was in love with a tiny little baby, okay? He did it because he didn't want the pack to destroy it. And that's the problem, is they didn't explain that until after it happened. So everybody in the theater was like, what? You just fell in love with the baby?
You can choose who you imprint on?
Yeah, that's why he did it. He did it to protect her.
I think that's wrong.
That's why Edward says right afterwards, he says, Jacob just imprinted on the baby so that the pack wouldn't kill it. Now he's one of their own, and the pack's not allowed to. It's their oldest rule.
Yeah, but
if they had discussed that beforehand, it would have made more sense.
Why wouldn't you just imprint on Bella?
Because he didn't want to imprint on Bella. He already loved her. Plus, it would be a waste of his imprint.
Dude, I do not think you understand imprint. I'm sorry.
I understand it better than you guys do. This brings me to my point about Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, which is the full and correct name of the movie. I like this one more than I liked any others, and I'll tell you why. Because you watch the first two, and they do some kind of wacky stuff, but in this day and age when everybody's doing vampire movies and everybody's doing vampire stories and werewolf shit, it's like, it didn't seem very shocking. But in this one, they went balls to the wall with wacky stuff. Werewolves falling in love with babies, vampire babies trying to claw their way out of the womb. Like, they really went over the top. And if I'm going to be watching some bullshit love story about werewolves and vampires, I want it to be totally over the top. Don't ask me to take something seriously that's
Yeah.
Just have their toe in the water. I want them to be doing a fucking, nose dive into the crazy pool.
Yeah, I agree. The style of this one was fun, fast-paced, entertaining. And it's a girl story about her wedding day, and she's pregnant, and, losing her virginity. But it kept the guys entertained. And I really like the style, and I like the credits and the music and the...
There's a lot more comedy in this one than there have been in the other ones. And yeah, I totally agree. It's just a lot more fun. The other three seem to take themselves a lot more seriously, or maybe the content's a lot more serious. I don't know, but this one was a lot more fun. It was pretty enjoyable. It had a lot of good comedy.
Yeah.
All three of us said that this is probably the best one, but it's been getting like the worst reviews.
Has it? I think they all have gotten really bad reviews.
They've all. I read a couple of reviews today to kind of prepare, and they just trashed it. But really, this one had a lot to offer. Editing was great. The style was great. Like, a lot different than the other ones. I don't know. I mean, I would even... It's kind of like Taylor Swift. Did you watch 60 Minutes? No one takes Taylor Swift seriously as a songwriter because she's a preteen, writes to preteens.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to take this movie seriously, but I think there's some really classic filmmaking elements in it. It was just good. It's a good movie.
I don't know about, what you just said, Max, but I'm just saying it was totally wacky, and so... You could at least make fun of it, and that's what everybody in my theater was doing. Like, everybody was laughing.
We weren't making fun of it, were you guys?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it was more it was entertaining. Like, that's the best word I can use for it. Like, I wasn't emotionally, scarred by anything that happened in the movie. Like, I really don't care what happened to any of the characters. I'm just saying. I don't know. It was fun, and they kept the story moving. Except at the beginning, there was like. It was just Edward and Bella making out, and then they would start a new indie song, and then they would wait 2 minutes, and then they would start a new indie song. And it was stupid.
So I have a question. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but how has never in the history of this vampire world a vampire had sex with a human?
Yeah, you'd think that would happen all the time.
Like, how is this the first time a human's ever had a vampire baby?
I don't know. Yeah,
I was a little confused by that. They didn't explain that.
Timeless.
Are we supposed to assume that Bella has that it's some kind of special thing with Bella, that she can get pregnant by a vampire? Or
I think it's a special thing.
Or are we supposed to assume that it's just never happened for some
Because
reason?
he's like, they spoke of legends of this. So I think it's like a special deal. And it grew super fast.
Or maybe Edward is the only vampire who can control himself while he's having sex with a human and not ravage her and kill her.
Yeah.
So that's why it's never happened?
Well,
I don't know.
I do the same thing. It's not a vampire thing.
Right.
I didn't get this. Did they have sex once on their honeymoon? Or did they get over that? Or...
I think they had it several times.
Because she was daydreaming about it because he wouldn't do it.
Right, well, they had it a few times, and then she was all bruised, so he wouldn't do it with her. But then she, wanted chess. No, that was her daydream. I don't know. But then they had sex again at some point.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, is, none of it made sense, but it was all...
Yeah.
The only part that made sense was when Jacob imprinted on the baby. That's the only thing that made sense.
The only thing that made sense.
I'm going to make a t-shirt that says, hide your kids, hide your wife, and have Jacob and the baby and Bella. He was totally inappropriate with her.
He was.
Completely inappropriate.
And
I would skin that wolf.
That being said, I'm totally team Jacob. I think Jacob's away.
Are you kidding
Jacob?
me?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
Why?
Because he's so much more interesting than Edward. Edward's 100 years old, right? Can you imagine any 100-year-old man wanting to talk to a 16-year-old girl?
Yeah, I can imagine every 100-year-old man wanting to talk to a 16-year-old girl. Have you ever been to Walgreens? It's like Perv Central.
No, I'm just saying, what do those two have in common? He's just a weirdo. Jacob's there for her.
You're mad about the age difference between a 100-year-old and a 16-year-old? What about a werewolf baby fucker?
But she's gonna grow up fast, so it's proportionally correct. Right?
Alright, this is just adult content. Better or worse, you got...
Here's another thing that was funny. If I can throw this out. people in my theater like didn't realize stuff was ridiculous and hokey and like should be laughed at, and so like one person would laugh and then everybody would be like, oh wait, yeah, that's stupid. There's a part where all the werewolves are fucking talking to each other. And, like the werewolves are making faces and getting angry, and they're having like this town hall style meeting with their werewolves. And like one person laughed, and then everybody in the theater was like, "Oh yeah, this is stupid."
Yeah, see, your theater made fun of it. My theater didn't do that at all.
Yeah.
My theater was like really into it, gasping at parts and like laughing at the correct parts, but they were totally into everything.
Yeah, you must have went to the cynical showing, Matt.
Okay. Maybe I'm mischaracterizing my theater and my audience. What I mean to say is like they were there to have fun, and like they knew that it was something stupid, but at the same time they all paid to see it and they all wanted to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm making fun of it, laughing with it, not laughing at it.
No, I think they were laughing at it. All right, we're out of time. Thank you for watching.